Is Humberto Gonzalez there? He's not. When was the last time you saw him? Climbing on board a rocket ship? Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down next to me. No touching. I don't do the touching. Well, unless you're extremely hot. So there's a lot to get through. Yes, as we did, I did a special report last night, didn't I? That Robert Pattinson is finally the Batman. But there's not only that. Supergirl, it looks like, will start shooting in 2020. And they haven't even cast the actor yet. So that's going to be interesting. Really looking forward to the Supergirl film. Let's hope it's not overly woke. But these days, you can't avoid it. I'm going to have to do a video talking about that. Maybe it's time we just go back to our Blu-ray and DVD collections and just not get involved with this crap they're putting out right now. Hollywood in general, I mean. But that's a subject for another day. So, yes, Supergirl is coming in 2020, or will start filming in 2020 as well. Idris Elba is rumoured to be playing Bronze Tiger in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. And I want to talk about Humberto Gonzalez because he says a lot about him as a pundit, as a reporter, and whether we can trust him anymore with what went down yesterday with the confirmation that Robert Pattinson will be Matt Reeves, the Batman. And if you've been starved of Snyder Cut news, listen to this.
Still upset over the prospect of never getting to see Zack Snyder's version of Justice League? Well, grab your tissues, because a newly released image from Snyder's version of the superhero film has teased a heartbreaking death that'll be sure to get you welling up. Snyder shared a still from a scene of his cut of Justice League, which reveals a crucial plot point in Cyborg's storyline. The black and white shots show Cyborg with his hand pressed against a pane of glass, looking on as his father, Star Labs head Dr. Silas Stone, is apparently burnt alive in what appears to be a containment chamber. It seems the fire may have been a result of an explosion that involved a mother box, a powerful piece of technology that appeared in both Snyder's Justice League and the theatrical version directed by Joss Whedon. Snyder had planned to explore an alternate history of the mother boxes and has even shared storyboard art that suggested his Justice League would have seen Cyborg discussing the boxes' inception and their connection to the Nazis during World War II. It's obvious that Snyder's vision for Justice League was going to be far darker than Whedon's, and including a death as emotional as the one intended for Silas would have brought the film to a somber place indeed. A pair of August 2018 tweets from the New York Times' Kyle Buchanan, who cited a report by Slash Film, claimed that Silas did indeed die in the original version of Justice League. Buchanan wrote, "Originally, Joe Morton's character was killed halfway through, and Cyborg finds a video from him at the end that lets Morton's lines play over the final montage. Whedon gave those lines to Amy Adams, but Whedon's reshoots also nixed the Morton death scene, so a wash?" In that Slash Film report, Silas actor Joe Morton confirmed that he filmed a ton of scenes for Snyder's Justice League that were scrapped when Whedon took over, and also told IGN that part of the Justice League reshoots involved adjusting Cyborg's tone to, quote, lighten up the film. He explained, "There was more we shot. They completely changed the story. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what the original story is because that might end up being in part of the Cyborg movie. Yes, there was a big change once they decided that they were going to do the Cyborg film. But whether the Cyborg movie ever ends up happening and whether the film will actually include the Silas death scene Snyder teased is a mystery for right now. Unfortunately, rumors recently began to surface suggesting that the Cyborg film is actually dead in the water."
So, what do you make of that? Yes, I should have spoke about this with you guys on the DCEU Daily a couple of days ago, but I keep on forgetting about it. There's so many things going on with the Batman and all these rumours, and I forgot to talk about it. So, yes, Zach did post a picture of Cyborg seeing Silas being incinerated. There's been a lot of talk. I think it's not the first time that Zach's mentioned that Silas Stone dies in his movie. Of course, it would be very somber, but also it could, he dies trying to bring Superman back, if that's what was trying to happen, if that was what was going to happen. We don't really know the exact situation of what was going to happen in Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League movie. Does it pretty much all play out the same? Is a different thing? Well, we know it's a very different film, and that's why we're all demanding to see it, or at least that's one of the reasons we're all demanding to see this. This is about integrity. There's a lot of reasons why this film needs to be released. And still we're waiting. How far have we got in this fight for the Snyder Cut, really? We've had a few revelations about actors not being credited, maybe not getting paid, which obviously has been a big revelation. And if you check out Ping Pong Flicks, Chris Wong Svensson's channel, I think he even interviewed one of the actors. So that was very interesting. So you should really subscribe to Ping Pong Flicks. No affiliation with me, just a great channel. If you're into the Snyder Cut, if you're into Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and the whole of the DCEU, then you should really check that channel out. But yes, we're still fighting. Things are coming out all the time. Of course, they know we're here. They know that. They know what we want. But is there enough of us about for them to decide this is worth our money? Or are they thinking, should we wait a few years and build this thing up? I would suspect probably the latter. I'm not a businessman. I don't know what's going on with the Snyder Cut at this current moment in time. But I would guess we're going to have to wait a few more years. But I hope not. I hope it happens this year. But, you know, how realistic is that? So, that's your chunk of the Snyder Cut today here on the DCEU Daily. But we need to talk about the confirmation that Robert Pattinson is now the Batman. Matt Reeves, the Batman, of course. There's been rumours that Matt Reeves is no longer directing this movie and that Ben Affleck's going to come in to direct Robert Pattinson, which I would be fine with. But look, there are certain ways that you look at Louis Centeno saying that his sources have definitely told him that Matt Reeves is out of this movie and he's not involved, and he walked away and he parted company with Warner Brothers. And Matt hasn't tweeted for 2 months. People are trying to. He hasn't tweeted since the 30th of March because I checked myself. That's not really strange for a director, especially a director so has this obsession with detail and really wants to get his films right. So he doesn't really tweet that much. Now and again, he gets fans to asking questions. He's very good. He tries to answer things as honestly as he can. I think he's been extremely refreshingly honest with Batman fans, and I think that's great. I think die-hard Batman comic fans are so excited about Matt Reeves being involved, about it being a noir detective drama, because their hero Batman has never been represented as this great detective. This is the character's origins, and this is what people want to see. So I'm excited, and all die-hard Batman fans are, and it's an exciting time. I'm just happy that Robert Pattinson has been confirmed, but we still need to know if he's a younger version to Batfleck, or is this a totally new version? We don't know none of these things. I think we desperately need clarification what's going on here. And now that there's been confirmation about who's playing this character, we need more confirmation about the film. We don't want spoilers and things like that. We just need to know, is this a young Batfleck or not? Is this within the DCEU, or is this part of the Black Label? Things like that. I think that's only fair. And I spoke about this the other day. Warner Brothers have to be a lot more open with us, even if it's stuff we don't want to hear. Honesty is the best policy. Well, sometimes, unless you've been caught doing something you shouldn't. And maybe a white lie's okay, yeah? Yeah, we're not angels or nothing, are we? But, really excited about that confirmation. But that leads me to my next point, right? And this is a conversation about movie punditry and, bloggers and, people like that. And Humberto Gonzalez has been around for a while. I think he works for The Wrap, if that's true. And Humberto has got himself in big trouble because only yesterday he was saying that Robert Pattinson and the other actor, whose name I keep on forgetting, but you know who I'm talking about, right? A really good actor. We're apparently going to do more screen tests and shots. Apparently Matt Reeves hadn't decided yet. Well, a few hours later, Warner Brothers confirmed it. So really, Warner Brothers have made Humberto look like an absolute idiot. So why would Humberto, with the full knowledge, post that this casting isn't official, there's no decision been made yet? Well, I think probably he didn't like the fact that Justin Kroll had the exclusive, and he's the kind of movie journalist who likes to stir up the fans. So if good news happens, he'll come out and deny that news quickly and start saying it's something more negative. And this is the kind of arena he enjoys. This is what makes a lot of movie pundits very, very popular. Unfortunately, if only we could wake up as fandoms and not follow these people and not have anything to do with them. I'm going to, after this video, I am going to unfollow Humberto Gonzalez and the rap. I'm not interested in them anymore, right? Because, he's proven himself to be an absolute liar, an absolute bullshit artist. So why should I follow him? Why should I follow him? I shouldn't. And really, neither should you. But who am I to tell you what to do? It's up to you. But what's the point of following someone who can't give you any information? The only reason we're following him is for scoops on movies, and especially the DCEU. He blatantly lied to keep a story going when he knew damn well that wasn't the case. And also, he said this film isn't filming to 2020. That's not true. It will be filming in London this autumn. So I've told you that a dozen times. It's up to you whether you believe me. But really, again, this puts movie punditry on the stand. It does, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sick to death of the campiers. I'm sick to death of the DCEU hate. It's boring. It bores me to tears because none of the points have any logic. I don't mind a heated, logical debate. I'm quite happy to have someone on here and have a heated, logical debate about why maybe they don't like the DCEU and, maybe from a Marvel fan or someone like that. I'm quite happy to do that. If it's logical, if you come with logic and say, well, yeah, he said his mum, that kind of discussion is boring. I like intelligent movie fandoms. I like intelligent people who know how to talk about stuff. And when you look at Humberto Gonzalez, he's clearly not a very intelligent fellow because he sacrificed his reputation for a few hundred clicks. And for me, that's really disappointing.